I'm Rob from Salsify, and I'm here today to talk about the importance of continual optimization on the digital shelf. Anybody who's in this game knows that speed is everything on the digital shelf. And they are shown this every single day when companies like Amazon are releasing private label product after private label product after private label product in a continuous, unending, ridiculously impressive and scary stream that assaults almost every single category that's out there, right? And there's upstarts showing up all the time, creating Me Too products and fast follows to any hit that you might have. And the game is chaotic, it's fast moving, it's fast paced, and everyone experiences that day to day. So companies, brand manufacturers that are looking to change their processes to be more nimble, to be faster, to compete on the digital shelf in the way that they see these upstarts competing, focus on process management. They think, okay, well, it used to take us 6 months to launch a product. Let's see if we can take us 3 months to launch a product instead. Or if it took us 3 months to launch a product, let's get it down to 1 month to launch a product. Or if it's 1 month to launch a product, let's get it down to 1 week to launch a product. Or if it took us a month to respond to a content request from a retailer or a distributor, let's get that down to 2 weeks and then 1 week and so on and so forth, right? So they focus on compressing the time to market, especially of new product launches. The shorter that time is, then the faster they get to market, the more competitive they can be. And there's a lot of investments in technologies internal to organizations to make this effective. So you see companies buying product information management systems and digital asset management systems and so on and so forth to centralize the storage of information and to build process and control around it so that the response time to market demands is more predictable and faster. Now, when that happens, when the product launches, you see typically almost an immediate uptick of performance on the digital shelf. In a lot of cases, it could take a year or 2 years for a new product to mature on its ranking and conversion rate on Amazon, but you start seeing an immediate performance. And it's not atypical for companies to see double-digit performance growth in almost any category that launches on the digital shelf. So you get the products live and it feels good. The digital shelf and e-commerce in general is your fastest growing distribution channel. And you feel like you're winning. Now, the problem with that point of view is that, let's say that you're growing 20% year over year, but your category is growing 30 or 40 or 50 or 80% year over year. You're actually losing market share every single day compared to competition. This is sort of a zero-sum game. And what makes that even harder for companies to deal with is the fact that once you launch this product, the digital shelf doesn't stand still. The category growth is going to continue to grow apace. But your own product performance might actually decline. So for example, Amazon is notorious for this. Walmart also does this quite a bit. Wayfair does this quite a bit. Almost any retailing website that takes e-commerce seriously is constantly running A/B tests and experiments and adding new features and things like that. So there's change. This is delta for change, right? And at the time of change, what will happen is if you don't take advantage of that change, you're going to see a further widening of the gap against your competitors within that category. And this is something that happens all the time. If you just look at 2018, like just 2018, and you just look at Amazon and not your other important e-commerce channels, you'll see changes such as a focus on 360-degree image spins for lots of categories. Amazon has done studies that show that products with 360-degree image spins convert at a higher rate. They're investing their own resources to actually add 360-degree image spins to lots of products. That's indicative, that's important. Amazon this year started making A+ available, A+ content, that below the fold from the manufacturer content, available to all products. And they introduced a new type of A+ content, the premium A+ content, that's pay to play, but really, really beautiful, right? They added 10 feature bullets for a number of categories, where it used to be 5 feature bullets. They've started to do their own programmatic generation of product titles based on attribution. They found that customers like to have consistent product titles within a category. And so they're taking control on the product titles based on some of the inputs that you give them, right? And this is just this year. So there's constant change that's happening, and companies that take advantage of the change see search ranking improvements and they see conversion rate improvements, and those things compound on each other in the digital shelf for continual improvement. Companies that don't react quickly to the change see a declination, right? And then the next time a change happens, they see another decline. And the next time a change happens, they see another decline, right? And note that this is not decline in sales. Your sales could still be growing 20% year over year this entire time. But again, if you're growing 20% year over year, but your category is 80% year over year, at some point, you're not relevant anymore. This is how Anker became the dominant electronics brand on Amazon and not Belkin, which was the dominant brand in store. So performance in this case really equals share. That's important to keep in mind. And what we're starting to see, especially in 2018 with Amazon having a heavier focus on margins than they've ever had, is that products that are performing okay but not great and they're not super profitable, Amazon is crapping them out. They're not buying them anymore from you. And a lot of manufacturers don't have an effective 3P backstop. They don't have effective dropshipping capabilities. So you hit that crap out wall, and even though it might have felt like you're growing 20% year over year and you're doing really well, all of a sudden you've got zero sales, right? There's a huge risk there. So if you only focus on improvements up front in the launch process, and you take a set it and forget it approach to the digital shelf, you're putting yourself at huge risk over time for losing market share to competition and eventually being irrelevant. That's why continuous improvement is so important. In the digital shelf, it's a speed game, but it's also a responsiveness game. It's playing from your toes, not from your heels. And you see startups do this all the time. They take a ready, fire, aim approach, right? They will launch a product immediately before it has all the information. They know that on Amazon and on Walmart and these key digital shelf channels, products age like a fine wine. The longer that they're there, the more history there is on the product, the more chance there is for the company to work on getting good reviews and things like that, the better they're going to be over time. So before even gathering all the information, you see these guys just launch. Fire the product out there. Get it going, right? And then you see them responsive to change. So all of a sudden, there's a new opportunity that's available. They take advantage of that opportunity. Another opportunity becomes available. They take advantage of that opportunity. So the new category captains, the ones that are quietly taking over category by category in Amazon, whether they're private label, whether they're 3P startups, right? This is how they're operating. It's a process of continuous improvement. It's not a process of getting everything right up front. It's focusing on the whole timeline of the product's life cycle and not simply the front of the product's life cycle. What you see older companies that are more process-oriented doing is they focus most of the process here, and then afterwards it's advertising and promotion. And advertising and promotion gets really, really expensive and frankly is not going to be competitive in a long period of time on people that are focusing on continuous improvement. So I think when you look at the digital shelf, when you look at the process improvements that you have to make as an organization, you look at the technologies that you've got to bring to bear, you look at the way that upstarts are winning and beating you, it is a completely different mindset and a completely different set of technologies and people and process that you've got to bring to bear on the digital shelf in order to win. Continuous optimization is the name of the game. Upfront process improvement is no longer sufficient.